Chinese have accused the United States of being the cause of all these demonstrations. They've said we're the black hand that's gotten all this started. And they've done things like publish private information about diplomats, U.S. diplomats in Hong Kong. That's the kind of thing that needs to stop. The Chinese have to look very carefully at the steps they take, because people in America remember Tiananmen Square. They remember the picture of the man standing in front of the line of tanks. They remember the statue of Lady Liberty. They remember voices of the Chinese people asking for freedom and democracy, and they remember the repression of the Chinese government in 1989. It would be a big mistake to create a new memory like that. The reason that we're engaged in a very difficult economic contest with China now is one reason that they did well after that was by stealing American intellectual property, engaging in forced technology transfer, and not just from the United States, but from Europe and Japan as well. Something like 60% of the investment in mainland China goes through Hong Kong. Why? Because it has a judicial system that's trustworthy, based on the English model that we know in this country. The courts are thought to be impartial. If Hong Kong loses that reputation because of a bad decision by the Chinese government, they'll have significant economic consequences in China this time. And I can tell you from what I've heard just in the past few weeks, the mood in Congress is very volatile at this point. And a misstep by the Chinese government, I think, would cause an explosion on campus. Well, I think if he's worried about the steps that he might take in the future, he's also worried about the spirit that everybody else in China can see about Hong Kong. They want their freedom. And I think what the United States expects, at a minimum, is that China will uphold the treaty agreement it made with the United Kingdom when Hong Kong was handed back to China, the commitment for one country but two systems, that for 50 years after the handover, Hong Kong would maintain its unique system and the freedoms that were left to it by the British. If that treaty is violated, that's a significant credibility problem for Beijing.